welcome back to our channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm KJ, by the way, and today we are back with another reaction video, so sit back, grab a snack, and let's go! Alright guys, so recently I had seen some sort of news headline saying something about Trump wanting to ban TikTok in the US. Now, all I want to know is why, and what on earth that has to do with the election. But let's just watch this video and see if we can get a little bit better of an understanding, because right now that just sounds ridiculous.
TikTok, with its viral dance routines and political activism videos, is a favourite among teenagers worldwide. But with more than 2 billion downloads and $17 billion in revenue last year, the app is extremely successful and influential. But its exploding popularity has also raised red flags. In the US, officials are investigating whether TikTok is a threat to national security. There are concerns that the data collected by the app, owned by the Chinese firm ByteDance, could be accessed by Beijing. The company denies any...
Wait a minute. What? TikTok is a Chinese app? I don't know how or why, but I guess because of its popularity here, I always thought it was an American app made by some American. But
yeah, you know, kind of like DoorDash.
Yeah, DoorDash and them, right? Like, right. I thought for sure. Wow. And so they're concerned about it being accessed by Beijing? Is that what I heard?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So I guess apparently he mad about anything coming out of China.
I guess so. He's just attacking anything related to China.
That's what it sounds
like.
Any
connection with the Chinese government. But Donald Trump is threatening to ban the app in the US.
We're looking at TikTok. We may be banning TikTok. We may be doing some other things. There are a couple of options, but a lot of things are happening. So we'll see what happens. But we are looking at a lot of alternatives with respect to TikTok.
One of those alternatives is for ByteDance to give up its ownership of the app. Potential buyers are reportedly already in talks to take over, including tech giant Microsoft. In the face of presidential threats, TikTok US assures its influencers and audience that this is not the end.
We've heard your outpouring of support and we want to say thank you. We're not planning on going anywhere. Right. TikTok is a home for creators and artists to express themselves, their ideas, and connect with people across different backgrounds. And we are so proud of all the various communities that call TikTok their home.
It's not clear if President Trump actually has the executive power to ban the app in the US, but a national security review of TikTok is expected to be presented to him in the coming days.
And joining me from San...
Honestly, you know what? This sounds like a bunch of crap, and I'm not going to rant just yet because the video isn't even over. However, this honestly sounds like him saying that he wants to shut down Twitter. Y'all remember that?
Right. He did that recently. He said that recently.
Exactly.
He wanted to shut down Twitter.
Because
Twitter got tired of his tweeting.
Right, of his tweeting and the crap that he was spewing on Twitter. Now, don't get all political in the comments. I mean, the comments are not a place for any political warfare going on. We can all, as long as we can all respect each other's views, great. You know, comment whatever, because I'm not here to argue with you. But this sounds like he's just trying to shut down something that he doesn't even have the power to shut down.
Right.
Now, when it comes to national security, that aspect of it, if it is a security threat, might give him the power to shut it down. I don't know. I took American government back in high school, but we didn't get this deep. So I'm not 100% sure about that. But why all of a sudden now is it being posed as a security threat when I heard somewhere that TikTok is actually Musical.ly, but rebranded, different name, but it's really like the same thing. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I heard that somewhere TikTok is Musical.ly from a few years ago. So if Musical.ly was fine, why all of a sudden is TikTok a problem?
I think it's because we are coming up closer to election time and he's just scrambling for distractions,
He's scrambling.
not realizing that all the people who currently use TikTok who would be upset
Who would be
about
pissed.
TikTok being closed down are the same ones
who
who
don't
were
have
actually
to vote for him.
who don't have to vote for him come November. So I mean, keep on making folks mad, because if you make enough of the people mad,
You won't win.
be reelected. That's
You
all there is
won't
to
win.
it. So
And there are plenty of people 18 and over who use TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who have the right to vote. 18 and over, like myself, we can go to the polls,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And we don't have to back you up at all.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else they have to say.
San Francisco is Ina Fried. She's the chief technology correspondent for Axios. Hi, Ina. Thanks for joining us. So we heard the head of TikTok USA there say we're not going anywhere. How much of that is an empty promise?
Well, it's certainly not entirely in TikTok's hands. That's what they hope. And there's reason to think that a deal should be able to be reached. But that doesn't mean that in this administration it will happen. Who knows with Donald Trump what exactly his issue is and what will sate it, what will solve the issue for Trump.
Now, we've heard reports that Microsoft plans to buy TikTok, or at least they're in talks to do that, the U.S. operations anyway. Would that put an end to the security concerns that the U.S. government has?
Well, I would have thought so, but the administration has indicated in the last 24 hours that it doesn't solve their concerns. So I'm not really sure what their concerns are that a deal wouldn't solve, but Microsoft has apparently, and TikTok have been in talks. They thought they had a deal. They thought they had a deal that would please the White House, with ByteDance selling all of its stake, perhaps some of its non-China investors, remaining investors, and Microsoft taking over, which would seem to solve the security issues. But that doesn't appear to be enough. So it's unclear what the Trump administration wants. It's unclear.
Hold up.
he wants some butt kissing.
He does, but honestly, you know what? This just sounds like another example of how much the White House has become a circus. Nothing but a circus act up in there. Because how is it that you're going to tell everyone that we are thinking of banning TikTok because of national security concerns? Right?
Right.
Right. That's what he said. Okay. Now, how in the same breath are you going to tell me that Microsoft buying, an American company, by the way, buying TikTok and getting rid of some Chinese investors and whatnot, maybe
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough. Like, make it make sense, because honestly, it don't make sense. If an American company purchasing this currently Chinese-based company isn't enough, then what is? Do you even know what you want? Do you? Do you?
Let's see what else.
What their main issue is, since if it's a national security issue, wouldn't Microsoft owning it solve that? It's really puzzling, to be honest, and I've covered tech for 20 years.
Okay, so despite the fact that it's not exactly clear what they want, what are the basic concerns that they have with TikTok in its current form?
Well, I think there's up to 3 concerns. The one that's being voiced is the national security concern that data of Americans could end up in Chinese hands. The 2 other things that are at play here that don't get talked about are the broader trade war with China. Certainly, the U.S. and China are at a low when it comes to relations, and there's a lot of threats going back and forth about companies. And then the third is Donald Trump had a rally in Tulsa, and a bunch of popular TikTok users managed to get free tickets so that the Trump campaign thought they had the rally sold out. And in fact, it was pranked, if you will. And that may be weighing on the president's mind. It may not, but.
Oh, so basically this has to do with him.
This sounds like a lot to do with him. He's trying to make it not look like that, though, because because of the security concern. And then something about trade. So it sounds like he's trying to cover up his ego with security and commerce. Okay, now I'm not 100% sure. If there are some security concerns, I don't know. I'm not in politics, not trying to be. That's why I'm on YouTube. But there's something I'm not buying. If Microsoft buying the company isn't good enough for you, I'm kind of not believing this whole security concern crap. Something just doesn't smell right.
That's certainly an issue underneath the covers.
Now, it's clear that this is still speculation at this point, but what would that mean for users of the app? And there's millions of them. If it was banned, would it just disappear from their phones? Like, what would that look like?
Well, it's really interesting. I mean, you know, in theory, the administration could use emergency economic powers to stop the app from being legally distributed. So probably at a minimum would stop new people from downloading it. It's not clear whether they would force it also off the air, if you will. And then you might see users turn to VPNs because it would still be in lots of other countries. You might see some of those creators go to other services, which would seemingly play into the hands of Facebook, which just last week was the subject of antitrust hearings.
We've seen that Facebook is also interested in duplicating other apps, what it did to Snapchat, and now Instagram is trying to duplicate some of the features of this app. So could you foresee that there would be an alternative out there and that this might be one of the goals here?
For sure. I mean, you know, if TikTok actually does get banned, I think you will see, I mean, the teens aren't going to suddenly shut their phones and go do something else. So they're going to go somewhere. It could be to a Facebook-owned rival. It could be to a new startup.
Ina Fried, Chief Tech Correspondent with Axios in San Francisco. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, we'll see what happens because I feel like it's not appropriate to say, oh, that's not going to happen. Just because Twitter did not get banned and Trump himself is still tweeting away, right? On the other hand, Sesame Street, we do see, did get banned. So, sorry, toddlers. Sorry.
Big Bird got fired.
Right? And we can't forget Elmo, but Elmo ain't hurting because have y'all heard of Elmo's Not Too Late show? He doing good.
Welcome to the Not Too Late Show!
He is doing just fine. He's a talk show host now, so Elmo is balling. Okay, but everybody else, I mean, Cookie Monster, whom they tried to turn into the Veggie Monster. I don't know if that ever happened, but anywho, it got banned. Twitter did not. So we're really kind of in limbo to see whether or not which way TikTok will go, basically. But let us know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to keep the conversation going. Once again, no political warfare around here. If we can all state our ideas peacefully and respect each other's opinions, even though they may be different from our own, great, comment away. But yeah, let's keep the conversation going. And in the meantime, we will see you guys in our next video. Bye, y'all.